Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today's video is a what's for dinner. These videos consist of me picking up my camera throughout the week and filming whatever we have for dinner. We don't cook every single night. Sometimes we eat out and others we are having leftovers, but the nights that we do cook, I try to film it for you guys to pass on some ideas. Today's video is also part of an ultimate collab here on YouTube with some other sweet ladies. All of our videos are going to be in one giant playlist for you guys, so you are going to get the ultimate dinner inspiration. I'll have that link below, so make sure when you're done with my video to check out all the other awesome videos in that playlist. Today I'm sharing 3 dinners and 1 really easy dessert at the end. So let's go ahead and get started. This first recipe I'm going to share is a shrimp salad. I will link the original recipe below. However, we tweaked it a little bit to our liking. The first thing you want to do is boil 3 eggs. This is everything else you are going to need. Back here in the back, I have a 12-ounce bag of extra small, peeled, deveined, tail-off shrimp. I'm going to chop up 3 stalks of celery. You will also need a half a cup of mayo, a dash of onion powder. The recipe calls for onion salt, but this is all we had. The recipe also calls for seasoning salt. However, this Tony's Creole is all we had and was pretty close. And then lastly, some celery salt. The first thing you want to do is chop up your shrimp. You could use a food processor for this, but I didn't feel like doing all that. I just used my knife and gave them a rough chop. You also want to make sure that your shrimp is thawed when you do this so that your salad doesn't become watery. I learned this lesson. I made that mistake, but I know for next time. Next, I'm going to chop up 3 stalks of celery. I'm using my chopper for this. I will have this link down below for you guys. It's a great tool if you have a good bit of chopping to do. You can get it done faster. I originally had tried to chop my shrimp in it, but it was taking too long. I had a good bit of shrimp and the chopping area is only so big, so it was taking way too long with the shrimp, but for produce, it's perfect. We're also going to chop up 3 boiled eggs, and then we can mix everything together. And that is it. We just ate it on some hot dog buns and served it with French fries. The next meal is called Mexican cheese grits. Grits are a popular thing here in the South, and I get lots of questions every time I use them here on my channel. I get asked, what are grits? So they're basically ground up corn. That's really the best way I know to describe them. We eat them a lot for breakfast, but also sometimes for dinner. They're kind of in the same family as like cream of wheat, I guess you could say. So we found this Mexican cheese grits casserole recipe and knew that we definitely wanted to give it a shot, and it was a big hit. So we will be saving this one to have again. The recipe we followed is down below. The first thing I'm doing is cooking my grits according to the package directions as I normally would. We always cook our grits in the microwave, but you can also do them on the stovetop. I'm adding in 1 cup of grits to 4 cups of water, and then we are going to microwave them for about 20 minutes. The next thing I'm going to do is mix together 2 eggs and a half a cup of milk, and we'll set that aside to add to the grits once they're done. Coming over to my skillet, I'm going to chop up a small yellow onion. I'm using the rest of one from another meal that we had, and also some bell pepper from our freezer. We keep chopped produce in the freezer for times like this, so all we have to do is pull it out. However, whenever we cut this up, we left it in bigger chunks, so I'm just cutting it up a little bit smaller. We also had a little bit of green bell pepper we will add to it as well. Next, I'm just going to saute everything in about 2 tablespoons of butter just until it's soft. Here, I'm just adding in 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. The grits are now done, so I'm going to add them to a large mixing bowl. I'm going to add in some Velveeta, salt and pepper, and the egg and milk mixture. The recipe also calls for shredded cheddar cheese to be mixed in, which I also added. However, I think next time I will leave that out. The Velveeta was plenty. I'm just going to whisk all of that together really well, making sure that I don't have any lumps in my grits, and then I will add in the peppers and onions, the shredded cheese, a dash of cayenne pepper, and mix it all together, and then we can pour it into a greased 9x13 baking dish. You'll want to bake this for 30 minutes on 350, and then after the 30 minutes you will add some shredded cheese to the top and bake it for an additional 5 to 10 minutes. We served it with sausage and crescent rolls, and like I said earlier, this was a huge hit, so we will definitely make it again. The exact recipe that we followed will be linked down below. The very last meal before we get into the dessert, I made some steak fingers, and we served it with some air fryer baked potatoes and a salad. I'll also share once again how we make homemade honey mustard dressing that can be eaten on salad or as a dipping sauce, which we actually used for both tonight. The first thing I'm doing is setting up my dredging station. I have flour, egg, and panko breadcrumbs. Next, I'm going to tenderize the steaks. These are sirloin, by the way. I'm going to tenderize both sides really well. I get lots of questions on this meat tenderizer, so I will have it linked down below. The next thing I'm going to do is season both sides with salt and pepper, and then I'm going to start cutting them into strips, cutting away any of the extra fat. Over there on my stove, I've preheated some oil. I'm gonna first dip the steak into some flour, into the egg, and then into the breadcrumbs. And you want to let these cook for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. In the meantime, I'm going to pop some potatoes into the air fryer for about 20 minutes on 400. I talked about this air fryer in my last What's for Dinner. I actually had a link and a code for it. However, they are now out of stock and that code is not working anymore. But I have reached out about it and they're going to let me know as soon as it's back in stock and give me another code for you guys, and I'll share that as soon as I know something. I did want to let you guys know that since many of you were interested in having problems with it. But like I said, as soon as I have an update, I will be sure to let you guys know. While I'm waiting on the potatoes, I'm going to go ahead and share the honey mustard recipe. It's really simple and easy to remember. It beats store-bought any day. I don't have exact measurements to give, I just base it off of taste preference. So you'll add about 2 or 3 good heaping tablespoons of mayonnaise and then some mustard and honey, and just keep tasting it and adding more of whatever you think that it needs. You will also add in a dash of rice wine vinegar if you want it to be more of a dressing consistency. However, if you're just going to use it as a dipping sauce, then you wouldn't need the rice wine vinegar. And that's it. You just want to give it a stir and then you're all done, and it'll be good in the refrigerator for a few days. I topped my potato with sour cream and bacon bits, and that was dinner. So now getting into the dessert, I'm going to make some air fryer Oreos. I made air fryer candy bars last time and you guys were telling me to try these. So I did, and let's just say they're dangerous. They were really good and easy to make. They take no time at all. So here I have 1 can of crescent rolls. I'm using the off-brand of Oreos. They're just as good to me as the Oreo brand. And optional, which we did not end up using, is powdered sugar for when they come out of the air fryer. I just thought they were sweet enough without it. But if you wanted to add powdered sugar, you would just sprinkle it on when they come out of the air fryer. So all I did was unroll my crescent dough and rolled 1 Oreo into each triangle. I made sure that they were wrapped good and that none of the Oreo was showing. Before they go into the air fryer, I'm going to spray my basket with a little olive oil, place the cookies in, and then I'm going to spray the tops of them with a little bit more olive oil. I cooked them on 350 for 7 minutes and they came out perfect. Thank you guys so much for watching today's What's for Dinner. Don't forget to check out the other videos in the playlist below, and if you're coming from any of the other videos and you're new here, I hope that you will hit that subscribe button before you leave. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.